everyone, this is Jen from Scrapping Posh, and I'm here with an artistic studio creation design team project. And today I'm going to be using the Graphic 45 Lost in Paradise collection. We're going to use just one sheet of the 12x12 solids and patterns and one of the 4x6 ephemera cards. And I do believe she still has some of this left, but just in case, I will link the link that I will link below is going to be like all of the Graphic 45, so she has really good pricing. The other thing that I noticed, I was scrolling through the website today, is that she has the Spectrum Noir markers on her sale, the last chance sale, the 20 to 50% off items. She has these Spectrum Noirs, which is what I use to color my stamped image in, for under $5 a pack, which is a really good deal. So I'll give you more insight on the deals that I find as I scroll through. That was just like the first thing that I seen. So today we're making an ephemera box, and I want to be able to just put this right on top of it. So we're going to make it, this is a 4x6 card, we're going to make it 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So we're going to design it. So the actual box is going to be 4, and this isn't going to be to scale, about like that, like a 4x6 box. And then we need sides, and we'll make those about 1 inch. So the sides are going to come out about 1 inch on all sides. Like I said, it's not to scale. And then we need little tabs here to fold it in, to make that fold in. And then I want to reinforce the side, so I want to double these up. So let's make each side come out twice as far, minus like a 1/16 of an inch, so that we can fold it down. So it's gonna look something like that. Let's put some measurements to it. So the entire square, we're gonna go, it's 4, and then we got 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, so that's gonna be 6, right? So this entire thing is about 6 inches, and then we got 6 inches, 7, wait, 4, 5, 6, okay, so that's 8, sorry, 8, and then this one's gonna be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so this is gonna be 10 inches, which makes sense. This is 2 inches bigger than this, okay? So that's my thought process here. And then everything is a fold line except for the exterior lines. So let's start. I have a piece of parchment paper from my stash. And we're going to start by cutting an 8x10. And then the next thing we're going to do is the folds. And the reason why we're going to do the folds next is because we're just going to cut along the fold lines that we don't need. Let me get out my scoreboard. It's a Martha Stewart scoreboard. I don't know if it's still a scoreboard or not. So I want, following my little sketch here off the side, I know each one of these are 1 inch, and then we go 6 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay, and that's the long side. So I'm gonna score, we'll start at this side 1 inch and 2 inches. And then it's gonna be 6 inches long, so we'll start again at 8 and 9. That's simple. So we turn this. Okay, and now we're gonna go this way, and again it's gonna be 1, 2, skip the 4, and then 1, 2. So we got 1, 2, And then there's 4, so we're gonna skip the 6 and 7. Okay, and that's gonna be what we need for now as far as that goes. I'm gonna need that one more time before the end. Okay, so remember how we said that these little sides, we're going to tuck those in because we're going to double up the sides. These need to be a 1/16 of an inch shorter. I'm going to go ahead and trim a 1/16 off of each side right now. And it doesn't even have to be a 1/16. I mean, it just has to be a sliver. So, this is what I'm cutting off. You can do this by hand. It's not going to... It's not all that important to be precise on this. We're just allowing it room to fold. So that's what I took off. And now let's go ahead and make some more cuts. Now, as far as these sides go, the long sides, we don't need anything to tuck and fold and fit. So it's supposed to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I made it 4 by 6, so oh well. My original, I'll just have to cut down the ephemera card. My original plan was to not have to do that, but see how easily, like, it took me a whole 30 seconds to forget my goal, my measurements. Okay, and then again on this side, and there. Okay, so if you want it to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so it'll fit your 4 by 6 ephemera cards, just make it a 1/4 inch bigger both sides. Okay, I'm gonna take my bone folder and fold up on all the lines. And this is a pretty heavy cardstock. This parchment is, I'm gonna say it's a little heavier than 65 pounds. It's probably like an 80 pound. That one folded up on me. That one's like stretched out on me. That's why it's bubbling, but that's okay. We're going to tape it down anyways. I think this maybe a little bigger than what I'm supposed to make it, but I don't think anybody's going to complain if it's bigger, so we'll just go with it. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put these sides down. I'm going to use my score tape. Let's use my half-inch score tape, maybe a tad better. And I'm going to put it on, since this one's a little shorter, you don't want to put it on this fold, you want to put it on the outside of this. And this is just a reinforcement, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You can wet glue this, that would be fine. Okay, I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do these two. I'm not kidding you guys, this is the first time my desk has been cleaned in like 2 weeks. It's so messy. I had 2 huge projects to do, and I had a very short time frame, so I didn't film them. Okay, and then once you got all that done, you just take your flaps and fold them up if you haven't already. And let's glue those. Just make sure they're at a 90 degree. And if you find that you're not confident with your corners staying put, you take these that we cut off before, trim them down, and make your corners reinforced with one of these. I think we'll be alright. As long as we let it dry before we mess with it. Alright, there's our little tray. Let that dry completely. In the meantime, let's make a wrap for it. Now, it is a bit bigger than what we started with just because of the paper thickness. So, it's 4 by 6. Let's cut our wrap to accommodate a 4 1/8 by 6. So the first thing I'm going to do, cut my, okay, so I got my paper. This is a 6 by 12. And let's go for 1 1/8 inch. So we're going to go 4 1/8 and then 1 1/8, 4 1/8, 1 1/8. Well, yeah, 4 1/8, 1 1/8. Okay, so 4 1/8 plus 1 1/8 is 5 1/4. So 4 1/8 and 5 1/4. 5 1/4 plus 4 1/8 is 9 3/8. And then add 1 1/8 to that. 9 3/8 plus 1 1/8 is 10 1/2, right? I believe so. We'll try it. Okay. Write those measurements down. Alright, now before we glue anything, let's try it out. He's a little loose in there. But we can, let's trim just a sliver off of this and then we'll pull it in, tighten it up a little bit. And when I say sliver, I mean teeny tiny, okay? And I'm keeping this on the outside for now so it doesn't interfere. But since I have that extra room in there, I think I'll be okay. I want to think, I want to say we could have almost went a 1/16 of an inch smaller, but I don't have 1/16 inch increments on my scoreboard, so that that like other problems arise. But I think I can still take a little bit out. So we cut like a 1/16 of an inch off here, and you see we have some space. So let's get the scoreboard back out and manipulate this just a tiny bit. So right now I have this at one of my marks. I'm going to move it over a 1/2 mark so that my current score line is right in the middle, and then I'm going to score right next to it. That's going to give me a 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to do the same with the second score line here. Let's see if that gives me enough room to make it just a little snugger. And it's so close that you're not even going to know there's 2 score lines. Okay, let's see how that works. I think that's much better. It's a bit snugger. This side's a bit bigger. We can do the same thing with that. So I line up that score line right there in the middle. Score and score. It's just a 1/16. It's 1/2 of a notch over. So by doing that, you say, well, you just took a 1/16 off both sides, so you could have just cut it at 4, but I don't believe that would have worked. I think it would have been too tight. By doing this, you've made like a rolling corner so that it kind of gives however you need it to give. It's anywhere from a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch, depending on where you need it, if you know what I mean. So now I can pull just a little bit more in there, and that looks pretty good. I'm confident with that. I don't think it's gonna slide out. We're good. So if you leave this side, it's going to be noticeable. So I'm going to take my ink and just go along it. I don't want to like distress the edge. Of course, if it was like a shabby chic deal, you probably would want to do that. But my partner, my swap partner, doesn't like shabby chic, so we will just do clean lines. Okay. And this will fold down, so you don't have to decorate it beforehand. What you can do is fold it, line this up with the edge, the scored edge, to press it down. Okay, so there we go. It's a pretty tight fit. I'm confident with that. And you can pull that in and out. Okay, so let's go ahead and decorate the front. I got the 4x6 card, and I want to cut it down just a tiny bit because I did not make my paper bigger than the card. Okay, super simple. Put that card on there. In the center, if you wanted to write a message, you could use the back side of the journaling card. Just center it on. And remember, I have the fold over here, so the front is actually starts right here. So center it on the front, don't go over the fold. There you go. There's the front. So this slides right in here. Now let's make a pull so you can get that out of there. And what I have is just some chain. This is a mermaid charm, and I have some ring, what are these things called? Jump rings, that's what they're called. Alright, and we're just going to make a little hangy pull. 2 jump rings, a tiny bit of chain. I'm just going to go like this much. And some kind of charm or bead will work. Zoom in for my bead work. Take your jump ring, find the hole. Sorry about that. I'm just going to use this because it's right here. Just bend it so that it opens. And put the end of that chain through that hole. And then we're gonna close it back. Oh no, we're gonna put the charm on, sorry. think I opened it as big as I think I did. Try and use that for... Okay, put the charm on. Close it back, make sure that's closed all the way or your chain and or charm will slip off. And you don't want to lose it. Okay? Now for this one, I'm going to take my pokey tool, which is an awl, and poke it right in the middle. Actually, let's go ahead and cover that first. If we're going to cover it, I'm going to take like a 1 inch by 4 inch piece of paper. Works for me. This is just the opposite side out of the 6 inches that I cut off. So you guys don't need to see it that close. Off the 6 inches that I cut off, this is the opposite side of that solids and pattern paper. Okay, now I'm going to use my pokey tool, and approximately in the middle. Don't want to make a hole that is too big, just big enough to stick this chain through. I put that chain on there. I'm going to put it in on my awl. I have another way to do it, but alright, there we go. Alright, now once we get that, we get this other jump ring, and I'm just using this other jump ring as a stopper so it doesn't go through the hole that I just punched. This is why I was trying to keep the hole small, but I had to keep making it bigger for it to fit. So you just do the same thing that you did before. You put the jump ring through the chain. each one I'm going to cut at 2 inches so we can score it. So I'm going to do 2 at 5 by 2. Okay. Scoreboard back out. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides and then 1 inch on the long side. Flip 1 inch again. Doesn't matter which way you do it. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Flip is 1 inch. Okay, we'll just go ahead and do this right on top. So we're going to fold this in half. That's going to be our divider. And then we're going to fold the tabs in. And then I'm just going to take, because when you fold your tabs in, you'll end up with this bit here, but you don't need it. Let's just cut one side. So I folded that one in half. Again, we're just going to cut at an angle from one side to the other. And that's just like I said, so that it doesn't fold over. It looks better, I think. Okay. There we go. And then you can either glue or score tape. I'll make sure these fit. They're a little bulgy, but that's okay. Say I could take, you could score it. You could do what we did on the other one and split the difference and score it on one side. Fold it over a little bit. That just gives you a little bit of leeway. It gives you, I want to say it's like a rolling corner, if you understand what I mean, as far as like you have this 1/16 of an inch apart, but really you can use the 1/16th, you can use a 32nd of it. It just gives you a lot more wiggle room. And it wasn't cut straight, so I cut that. And then we're going to glue these in because I am going to put a bit of glue on the bottom. Right along that, just along that edge. And that will seal it to the bottom. I just put glue along the edge and I put glue on either side of the gussets. And just kind of eyeball it, make sure it's straight. That looks good. I'll let that dry, and while that's done, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Oh. Must have had a clog in my glue and it just unclogged all of a sudden. Okay, let's go this way with this one. Okay, so I got a small space up here, a small space, and then we'll cut this one in half here. So I didn't measure that out, so I have no idea what that is. This is going to be about 2 7/8. So I'm going to first cut it at 2 inches so that we can do a 1 inch thing, and then 2. I should have done 3 7/8. Oh yeah, 3 7/8. And again, you got a 1/2 inch on both sides. Now this is 7/8, so the easiest way to do this without having to do a whole bunch of measuring is just do a 1/2 inch flip and do another 1/2 inch. I scored that way too hard. Okay, and for all intents and purposes, I am done with my scoreboard again. Okay, and then we'll go from here to here, from here to here, and just do the same exact thing. You can ATG it since I have my glue out and it's flowing. Let's do that. Okay, and we're just going to do the same thing. A little dry fit works good. And now my glue doesn't want to work again. Alrighty, and there you have it. And you can decorate it more. You can decorate the sides and the bottoms if you want. I'm not going to do that because it's, I mean, for me, I think, and hopefully for my partner, I think it's more about the embellishments than it actually is the box. But hopefully she'll be able to use this box for something and not throw it out. And then when this is done, when it's dry, you should wait for this to dry before you try and stick it in here. It slides right in. Okay, and then let's just put a couple of green flowers on the front, I think. These are flowers I got forever ago. And I have some yellow sitting right here at my desk. I think will match also. And they're smaller, so there we go. And so put some here, 2, 3. So it already has flowers on it, so we're just going to add some dimensional ones. Granted, they're not the right kind of flowers, but that's okay. Here we go. And then I got 2 here, 2 yellow ones. And then we're going to get out some good old stickles, which I haven't used forever. I think Crystal still sells stickles. If you haven't indulged in stickles by now, definitely at least get one. I got this Distress Stickles in Worn lipstick. Now the Distress Stickles doesn't keep it. I guess I should have glued that one down better. I'll just use the stickles. Distress Stickles don't keep their shape as well as normal stickles. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. If you've used them, you probably know that. I'm just going to put a dot on each one of them. That one came out as a big dot. Okay. And maybe just a few of these gems. That one's the sticky thing. Okay, the sticky doesn't want to stick on any of them. Let's just go across the bottom, I think. One, two, hopefully I left enough space in there. Alright, there we go. There is your finished embellishment box, so fill it up with goodies and send it to a swap partner. And I will post some pictures of mine full. Super fun project. We'll see you guys later. Head on over to Artistic Studio Creations. Get your sale items for 20 to 50% off. Check out those Spectrum Noir markers if you wanted to learn how to alcohol ink color if you haven't already, or if you just need to grow your collection. They are, like I said, less than $5 each, and I'm going to check to see what other goodies that she has, but get them quick because she will not be restocking them. Alright, and I hope my swap partner likes this. We will see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.